Are you looking to ignite your team's creative thinking and problem-solving skills? Then I have a technique for you. It's a Scamper Technique, and it's one of the most easiest and straightforward techniques that you can start using today. While we're talking about teams, if you run projects, stay to the end of this video because I have an amazing guide for you on why projects fail. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. For the best advice on careers and project management, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button, and I'll be getting a new video to you every Wednesday. The Scamper Technique is a fantastic brainstorming method that I have used with my teams whenever we're trying to find something new, different, innovative, and creative. So let's get to what exactly is this brainstorming technique called Scamper. Well, it's an acronym, and this is what it stands for. S stands for substitute, C is combine, A adapt, M modify, P put to another use, E eliminate, and R is for reverse. Now that we know what the acronym means, let's get to it where I can explain each one in detail for you. So if you're excited about this, please give this video a like. All right, the first S, substitute. This is a trial and error method where you replace one thing for another until you find the right solution. Okay, so there's definitely some questions that you can ask, and when you do this, you can look at it in a couple of ways. You can take a look at it from a product perspective, as well as you can take a look at it from a process perspective. So some of the questions from a process is there anything we can substitute within our process to make it better? Or even from a product perspective, is there anything we can substitute within this product to make it better? That's the whole goal with substitution, is finding creative and new ways that you can make whatever it is that you're doing better. Okay, I'm going to give you an example on substitution. So here is my product that I want to do. I have to put these papers together. Now, regarding an option is I could easily just put a paper clip with it. But I'm finding that that's not really staying together properly. So I'm going to substitute my paper clip for a staple. And as a result of that, guess what? They're not coming apart. So that is a good example of substitution. I took the paper clip and I substituted it with the staple. Combine. So for this one, can you merge two ideas to make it into one? And so some of the questions around this would be, for a product, can you take two different products and combine it into a one? And for a process perspective question, it could be, can you take two different ways of working and combine them to make it more efficient and into one process? Okay, so my example for you is this, going around the same theme that we had last time. How do I combine the power of a staple, right, keeping things together without it falling apart, but with the power of a paper clip where I don't have to worry and it's easy to pull my papers apart? Guess what the solution is? Bullnose clip, right there, where it has the power of a staple because of the spring-loaded action, but the power of a paper clip because I don't have to worry of trying to get the staples apart. So that's a really cool idea of taking two separate ideas and combining them with a new idea. Adapt. Is there anything that you can add a new element to an existing product? The goal here is you want to make it better. So a really good example for this from a process perspective, is there any way that we can make a process more flexible so that we can get to things faster? And with the product is a good question to ask, is there anything we can add to the product to make it better? So my example for you is this. Let's take a look at our paper clip. We have the paper clip, right? Excellent. But what we find sometimes with these metal paper clips is that paper slip through it quite easily because it's not really grippy. Well, here comes the coated paper clip. Very simple. They've just adapted the concept of the paper clip and put a coating on it of rubber to ensure that your papers don't fall apart quite easily. Modify. This is about changing, not making an adjustment like we did just earlier on to the product or a process. So from a process perspective, a question to ask is, can we make any modifications so that we actually have a different process that's maybe more effective? And for a product, is there any change to actually make the product better, to have it go sort of to the next level? So here's an example for you. We have this lovely paper clip. Remember, here's our example. So how do we make this better? Because ever have a lot of papers and then this paper clip is not working, it bends and things fall through. So how do you modify this paper clip to make it better? Guess what? You do one of these clips, which I forget the name, by the way. So if you know the name, put it in the comments below. This then can take on a lot more paper and it has the stability, but it's the same premise. So a good example of modification. Okay, the P for the Scamper technique is about putting it to another use. So just what that said, is there any way that the product or process can be used in a different way than its initial intended use? So a question to ask for a process would be, can another part of the organization, can they use what it is that we're doing? And for a product is, can I take this product and actually use it for something else that it wasn't originally designed for? So an example for you, I love this paper clip. We got another one. Here's this paper clip. How do I make it so that I can put it to another use? Now, if you've done this, put it in the comments below, because I promise you I've done it. You bend it, and what does it become? I hate to do this. Toothpick. Ever do that when like you really were in a bind? I have. So, but what a cool way that, again, you could use this as a toothpick. Eliminate. For this one, you want to ask yourself, is there anything in the process or the product that you can actually get rid of? So this becomes an interesting question, because from a process perspective, you want to know, we were doing this a certain way, can I take out steps and not even have to worry about them whatsoever? And for a product, is there something that we normally use and can I get rid of it? So a really good example for this is this good old stapler, or staple. Now, you think, Adriana, how can you do any elimination with that? Well, I wish I had one of these, but I don't. But there's two things that you can do to eliminate the actual staple. You can A, bend the corner, but let's be honest, that's not going to keep it. But have you ever seen in stores where there is a stapleless staple where they actually bend the corner and it actually takes a piece of paper and hooks it, so you actually don't need staples, but it looks like a stapler? That is an excellent example of eliminate. Reverse. So is there anything in what you're doing that can be reversed in order to actually make the process or product better, perhaps even more innovative than you thought before? So some of the questions that you can ask from a product perspective is, if we were to take this and reverse it in whatever way that we have it originally planned out, is it going to give us a better product? And the same thing could be said for a process. Now, here's your example. Don't have one for you. Here's my paper clip. I was actually thinking about it. How can I reverse this? I honestly don't know. If you have any ideas, put it in the comments below. Okay, now that you know how to use a Scamper method technique and some examples around it, I am dying for you to try it out and let me know how it goes. But before you do that, don't forget, go to the link below and grab your guideline on why projects fail. On that note, thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you at the next one, and let me know if you use a Scamper technique.